really gritty effort, I thought, by both teams that were on the back-to-back. And, I thought we did a lot of things really well and gave ourselves a chance, to win. I think the things that really hurt us were they're 24 of 25 from the foul line and us being 10 of 16. Like that's a lot of times that's going to be too much to overcome. And then Damian Lillard, there's a reason he is who he is, and he was spectacular again tonight. But I thought, for our guys to really come out and showed a great fight and a lot of grit tonight. We had 64 points in the paint. We only had 7 turnovers, 25 assists. Like we were competing and playing hard, and they got the job done at the end of the night.
Start with James here.
Luke, when you look at the first half and the way you're finishing here with Fox really taking off, Buddy starting to find himself, Harrison having a good season, Halliburton and Bagley developing, do you feel like there is some light at the end of the tunnel going into the second half?
Absolutely. I feel like like I said, there's a lot to be excited about. I think that where we are as a team right now, we don't have a lot of room for error right now, and things like shooting 60% from the free throw line, or things where we get banged up with some injuries. Like it's hard for us, but with those things you're talking about, James, like to me, it's we get that rotation going again and get healthy coming into the second half, and then even into going forward. I think there is a light, and I think it's it's a group that I'm excited to be working with.
Sean Cunningham.
Along those lines, Luke, does your expectations of what this season could be change as it kind of the ebbs and flows of the season? And I'm just curious, as you head into this break, how far removed are you from where maybe you expected to be?
Yeah, I mean, look, my expectations are that that we create, like you guys are probably bored of these answers, but it doesn't change. We create the culture, the behaviors, the habits, the work ethic that it takes to win in this league. And as our players continue to get better, we'll start winning more consistently. So, that's where my expectations are, for our group. And that's what I'm going to expect to see in the second half of the season as well. I think we showed we're capable of, putting wins together. We've also showed that we're capable of going on losing streaks, the inconsistency of that. So, I would tell you that when we're fully healthy, I think that, I like where we're at. And unfortunately, we have to get much better than that, because most teams don't ever stay fully healthy. So we have to continue to learn how to grow and play when we are missing pieces. But we got a long way to go on this journey. But it's an exciting one to be on, and we got some young pieces here that should have the future of this team. People are excited about that too.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Good, Jason.
Yeah, just kind of following up, you mentioned about learning how to do the things you need to do to win consistently. And I look at that late in that fourth quarter when things got tight and you guys are struggling to figure out how to get a good look and get probably the shot you want. Is that part of that process, kind of the details and the focus you need in those situations against good teams?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jason. Do you have something at the end of that?
No, I just said against a good team.
Yeah, so that's definitely a big part of it, right? I mean, it's whether you're down 5 or up 3 when Damian Lillard's coming down, it's there's a composure that comes with that, and that's what we're trying to get to. And I think down the stretch we have to realize that, okay, even if they score, 1, we're still looking to push and transition, and then 2, like, let's make sure that we get people to their spots and get the type of shot we wanted. Now, tonight, I thought it wasn't that, like, we didn't score, but we got the mismatch. We got the post up with Harrison on Lillard we were looking for. We got De'Aaron downhill on a peel out that I couldn't tell. I mean, they didn't call the foul, so I couldn't tell if he got hit on that block. So we had Harrison in there. I think Cantor blocked him on one. So we got the ball to guys we want to have the ball in decent scoring areas. So I was okay with some of that. But yeah, part of the growth, and a big part of the growth, Jason, is that continuing to be composed and confident late in those games, no matter where you're at, whether you're up 5 and now you're down 2 or you're down 7 and you're trying to make a run, just keeping that same composure and confidence throughout.
Tony Harvey.
Coach Walton, considering last night's game with the Lakers, the Kings, they played tonight. It was an all for one, one for all type game, and they didn't look sluggish at any point in the game. Were you kind of surprised how they responded, from last night? Or maybe it was just something, having a couple of days off prior to that they were able to keep their legs up under?
Yeah, I was very pleased with the effort they gave again tonight, and I've said that most of the year. I feel like our team has done a nice job of sticking together and playing hard, and that doesn't always, unfortunately, lead to wins, but it leads to a healthy culture, and it leads to it leads to what's going to ultimately lead to consistency in winning. Back end of a back-to-back, getting on a plane, getting in late, and really, playing a pretty tight rotation, heavy minutes. I thought they very pleased with what they gave again tonight.
All right, we'll go a few more. Jason Anderson.
Hey, Luke, 2 questions. One, when you look at that end of the first half, not getting the shot off, I know that how frustrating that was. So how do you teach, something in that moment? What do you say? What do you do about that? And then secondly, as difficult as the schedule and the protocols and everything are, and you're talking about the margin for error being so slim, does it almost put more pressure? Is this all more grueling for these young guys trying to figure this out with no margin for error and not a lot of help?
Yes, I think it is more grueling. I think it is more challenging for teams that are where we're at as a team right now. But I also think that it's going to make us. It's going to speed up our process of getting better, more cohesive. As the year goes and into next season, even more so. Going through what we've gone through this last season and a half is either going to break a team or bring a team really tight together. And I feel like with our group, it's going to bring us tight. So it's going to be a really challenging second half of the season. We get that, but we're excited for that. End of the half, yeah. It's just the messaging is it's why every possession matters. It's our awareness and our attention to detail and execution. These are things that in professional sports we have to get. We have to be ready. We have to be dialed in and better at those things. So. There's times where, again, I get frustrated. There's times where the players get frustrated. We're competing out there, but we really have to understand and embrace the idea that every possession matters. And we got to know situations and whatnot. The best way to learn that stuff, though, is going through it, the experience of it. Jason, to answer your question, is the best way to learn that stuff.
Sean Cunningham.
Look back to tonight's game real quick. That free throw that Fox missed, grazed under the rim there. Officials reviewed. It looked like you disagreed with what was going on there. What were you hoping to have heard that you disagreed with?
Well, 2 things. We had a play on. We were missing on purpose. So, what we wanted to do it worked. And now it's a loose ball right there with Harrison and Rashawn Xing over the top of each other. So by blowing the whistle, you take us, you take it out of that opportunity for us to come up with that ball. And then what I was saying was, like, even if, when you said the ball didn't hit the rim, it's clearly a dead ball. So I was trying to argue for a jump ball at half court, as opposed to them on a side out of bounds. And look, their answer was fair. They said there was no violation, so we can't go back to when the violation happened. Although there was called a violation. But anyways, I was fighting for the jump ball, which I thought we'd have. It's like when you challenge a call and it's clearly going to one team, but when the whistle blew, nobody has it, so we're going to jump it up. So that's what I was arguing for.
All right, Marshall Harris.
Hey, Luke, just want to get your thoughts on the break overall and how you'll spend it, and what you're hoping to come back to on next, I guess, Wednesday when you guys reconvene.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm going tomorrow morning to meet with Monty, and we're going to go over some things, and then I'm going to pick my kids up from school, and my wife and I are going to take them up. Take them on a 2-day vacation to a remote hotel, and then I'm going to do everything I can not to think about anything other than my family for a couple of days, and then on Sunday I'll be back in Sacramento, meeting with Monty again, getting ready for the second half of the season. So, same thing I told our players: do your best to unwind for a couple of days. It's been a lot. It's been a long first half of the season. But be smart, and then start getting your mind wrapped around what this second half is going to be about. So by the time we come back on Wednesday, we're sharp and ready to attack the second half of the season.